Hello, today we're going to start a new project within the Applied Digital Skills. I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time because there aren't very many videos. So I think that I'm going to play them through this video and just pause them at certain parts where you need to go and complete them. If you have not finished your logo or your meme, please make sure you go and do that now. Do that before you move on to this project. I'd rather you complete the later assignments and then work on these newer ones when you have a chance than to skip them because sometimes we forget to go back. So again, go back and finish them if they're not already completed. All right, so today is Tuesday and Wednesday. The assignment's going to span over the next 2 days. It is creating, let me open it up so you can see it, creating animation in Google Slides. So what this is like, if you know what a GIF or a GIF, what that looks like, where it's a still picture and it's moving, you're able to create your own movement and your own animations using a type of stop animation within Google Slides itself. And the next couple of lessons is going to go through how to complete and create one of your own. So you are going to just be following along with this video, but I'm going to actually go to the lessons in Applied Digital Skills so that you can actually watch the videos through here. So it is listed in your Applied Digital Skills classroom, but there's no need to go to it since I'm doing it with you today. All right, so creating animations. All right, so we are going to start with this introductory piece. You're going to watch this and then I'll come back and explain a little bit more about it.
When you animate something, you bring a still object to life. Artists use animation to tell stories you see in the media every day. Apps, television shows, video games, computer graphics, and GIFs all use animation to make a story more eye-catching and lifelike. In the past, artists created animated cartoons with a series of hand drawings. The images were then photographed and advanced quickly to create the appearance of motion. Stop motion is another common form of animation, where artists change the position of objects slightly in each image. When the sequence of photos is played at a fast speed, the figures appear to be moving. In this lesson, you will create your own animation using Google Slides. Using a digital tool rather than a series of hand drawings helps you be more precise in your animation. As you create your animation, you will develop the parts or stages of your animation idea. Create your slides using color, images, and drawings, and view your animation. To work on this lesson, sign in on your Google account. Open a new tab in your browser and navigate to google.com. If you're not signed in, do so now. To begin, open Google Drive. Create a new blank slide presentation. And rename it. Now, it's your turn. Open Google Drive, create a new blank presentation, and rename it.
Okay, the video is going to pause here now. I'd like you to go and do those 3 steps. Open your drive, create a new slides presentation, and name it. It could be your first name or last name and the word animation. And then you're going to come back here and watch the next part. Okay, moving on to the next step. We're going to talk a little bit more about what is going to be created here.
In this video, You will brainstorm a subject or scene to illustrate through animation. Then you will plan out your animation so you know what you will be creating on each slide. To begin, apply a blank layout to your first slide. Now, start imagining the scene or subject that you'd like to animate. For example, your animation might be a scene where something or someone is moving across the slide. Or it might demonstrate the stages of a natural process, like a lightning storm. To help you plan out your animation, think about what your image or images should look like on the first slide, compared to the last. Now, decide what changes you will make to your images to make them appear to move as the slides advance.
I want you to notice here at the bottom, they have notes listed where it says beginning, first slide, draw or find an image of a sunflower in a field with its head drooping down and facing east in the direction of the sunrise. So they're listing what's going to happen on each of the slides. This is something you're going to be doing, so kind of keep that in mind as you're brainstorming.
To help you animate the movement of your images correctly, you might want to research your subject online. Next, search for images that show what your subject looks like at different stages. For example, you might search for an image of how a sunflower looks when it follows the angle of the sun. Use your research to write a few notes about what your first slide will look like. Type a short description in the speaker notes of your first slide. Next, repeat the steps you followed in the first part to describe what happens in the middle slides.
Okay, notice there is the word beginning, so that's what's going to happen on the first slide. Middle, this can be several slides long, and then you're going to have an end as well.
Repeat these steps again for the final stage in the process or story. Now you should have a solid plan for your animation. Now it's your turn. Apply a blank layout to your first slide. Choose your subject or process. Research how your image moves, and type your animation plan in the speaker notes.
Okay, this is where the video is going to pause again, and you're going to do these things. This is going to take a little bit of time to have a plan on what you want your actual animation to look like. It can be anything you want it to be as long as it's school appropriate. So they did a sunflower. They gave you an example of just having like a skyline with a seagull flying across it and a hot air balloon. I mean, you can do something as silly as, let's say, a Pokemon battle where the Pokemon are running at each other. So get creative. Think about what type of movement you want to show, and then you have to start planning it out within the slide notes themselves. So just like they showed you in that notes bottom right at the, because you're only going to have that first slide open, you're just going to type beginning, middle, end. What's going to happen at the beginning of the animation, what's it going to look like at the middle, and then what's it going to look like at the end. Okay, go ahead and do that now. Okay, now that we're back, we're going to take a look at the next part. and see what we need to do next.
In this video, you will create the first slide of your animation. This slide will introduce the subject or scene to your audience, so it's important to make sure all the elements that you need are there. To begin, answer a few questions to help you set the scene. Where will your animation happen? What time of day? What images must be present for your animation to begin? What direction will they move across the slide? To begin, find an image or graphic that you can use for your animation. Search for the image and make sure you have the right to use the image. Look for the image that will be the focal point of the animation. This is the part your viewers will watch change or move the most. Insert your main image on the first slide. Crop your image if you only need part of it.
I want you to remember here also, this image happened to have a transparent background. If your image that you want to use doesn't, remember there is Burner Bonanza. We use that program to cut something out so that you can use it cleaner without a background. So if that's something you need to do, if you need extra help with that, make sure you hop into the Meet. I'll help you walk you through it. Or if you remember how to use it, remember that is a tool at your disposal that you can use for this.
Then resize it to fit your scene. Add more shapes. And draw any lines or shapes you may need to construct the rest of your scene.
Okay, this is the order tool where you can send it behind the other shape, right? Send back or backward. And notice all these different drawing tools you have within this program and also within Google Drawings themselves. Line weight, where you can make the line thicker. So that's how we did that part. And then it's just a matter of coloring it and changing the fill colors.
Next, add colors to your shapes and lines to make them easier for a viewer to recognize what they are.
This is the paint bucket that we're using. He selected both of them by holding down the Shift key when he clicked on the second shape.
Finally, add a background color. Choose a color that depicts the place or time of day. Now, it's your turn. Insert images into your first slide. Crop images. Draw shapes and lines. Add fill colors, and choose a background color.
Okay, this is actually where we're going to stop today. You're going to do this first slide where you go ahead and create the very first image that we're going to see before the animation starts. So at this point, you should already have that slide layout blank. You should have the outline written, the beginning, middle, and end of what you're going to do with your animations. And now you're going to actually draw and design what the first slide will look like. If you have gone through this very quickly and you feel like, wow, I can keep going, I have a lot to do, you can use the link that I gave you in the assignment and you can kind of continue on where we just stopped at the third blank slide. You can go to the fourth one if you like to kind of go a little bit ahead. But this is kind of the point that I want you to get at for today's lesson. And then tomorrow we'll actually do the animation part of it. All right. If you have any questions, like I said, if you want to use Burner Bonanza and you need help, or if you don't know how to find some of the drawing tools and things within Google Slides, please make sure you let me know on Google Drawing, or jump back into the Meet and ask me the question there so I can show you what to do. Okay. But try to be creative. Try to think of something fun and different and something that you can easily animate with this kind of idea of stop animation. And I look forward to seeing what you all create.